Dear white South Africans, are you okay? I'm going to need you guys to start speaking up a little bit, all right? You know, protecting this rainbow nation that you love so much. Because there's a narrative out there that you guys are being unalived every day and that you are being mistreated within the borders of South Africa. And you and I know that's not true. South Africa has a crime issue, not a race issue, a crime issue. It's not like when hijackers find me, they're going to be like, oh, sorry, sissy, I was looking for a white person. Not at all. In fact, people of color are largely affected by the crime within South Africa. You know why? Because we are the majority. I need you guys to stop being so quiet because it's a little problematic for me. Because there's an orange man and Elon Musk out there spreading rumors about South Africa. And it's not true. There is no way you guys will be flocking to a country that mistreats you. Majority of you have the means to leave South Africa, yet you choose to stay. You need to tell the world why you're staying. This is the time to speak up about this beautiful country that you love so much.
So guys, as you know, we already discussed how Trump cut aid to South Africa when he claimed discrimination against the white population. But then he took it a step further and offered them refugee status in the United States. And guess what? The very people he was trying to rescue said no thanks. That's right. Many white South Africans rejected the offer, saying they're just fine where they are, which raises the question, if they were truly facing extreme persecution, why refuse the chance to leave? Well, let's hear straight from the people Trump was trying to rescue.
We don't want to move elsewhere. We are not going to ask our children now to move to another country. The fact is, our ancestors worked hard to make sure that we as a people are formed down the southern tip of Africa. We're not going to disrespect that. We also have the interests of future generations in mind. We also have to make sure that our culture is transferred to future generations.
We are committed to build a future here. We are not going anywhere.
Now, let's see what Black South Africans have to say about this whole situation, because trust me, their reactions make this even more interesting.
One thing is for certain though, AfriForum needs to go. By now you know that Afrikaners had the opportunity or the open invitation to start a brand new life in America. And shockingly or not so shockingly, they are refusing to go. They said that they have put all of their time and effort into oppressing the majority of the population, that they can't just pack up their stuff and leave because they've worked so hard to oppress these people into submission. Africans far and wide are asking for AfriForum to be disbanded or dissolved. That's what South Africans are complaining about, because the progress is always stunted by a few people saying, no, we don't agree, we don't want that, it's not beneficial to us, we are in danger. And, you know, they would sabotage any efforts in progressing as a country. Afrikaners are super concerned about the food crisis that might just erupt in South Africa when they leave. But they forget who's the people working on those lands, who's working on those farms, who've been doing it for generations, and even before they came, generations on end. The delusion. There are so many South Africans thinking that the South African government is going to counter-offer Donald Trump. No, we're not going to counter-offer. The offer is no compensation. That is it. Take it or leave it. And I don't know why people are confused, because you're getting everything on a silver platter.
What they wanted was a regime change. The response of them saying that they don't want to go to the US, their culture cannot survive outside of South Africa, they have to stay here. This is unsurprising. The response is unsurprising. I think anyone that's been paying attention is absolutely not surprised by this response, because we know that what they wanted when they were peddling those lies was not refugee status. They wanted a regime change. They wanted the USA to intervene, overthrow the sitting government, and put in a minority government. Basically, they wanted a return to 1948. They wanted a regime change with them, Maburu, in charge. Essentially, they wanted a regime change back to apartheid.
I've always known that the cries that are coming out of that particular section of South Africans saying that South Africa is so terrible and somebody needs to intervene were not real. And I'll tell you why. If South Africa is this horrifying place, the laws are so bad, and there's an equivalent of a white G-side, and somebody, a magnanimous country with all this money and resources and all these things says, you know what, we will resettle you here. Would you not take the help? All around the world, people live in crazy war zones where there's conflicts and there's bad things. And you know what they do? They go to countries to seek refuge and asylum. But if you go watch the video I just stitched, the AfriForum, who has been leading these conversations about South Africa, has said, no, we don't want to leave here. So they are calling out for America to do something for them, meaning something to the government, because they also made a statement that no, they want sanctions, but not to South Africa, only to members of the governing party, right? And not the whole GNU, not the whole coalition, but to just ANC members, but not to the country, because they don't want to be affected. What they're saying is, America, come and tell these black people how to behave so we can keep the power and the land and the economy that we already have. And so what's the point of the executive order, right? Okay, fine, they've now removed the aid, but if part of the executive order is resettling people because they are being discriminated against, and those people are saying, no, thank you, what's the point? The point is to villainize people in an African country who have done nothing but try to establish laws that can bring equality to one of the most unequal societies in the world.
AfriForum has finally gotten their way, or have they? They've managed to convince Donald Trump land grabs are going to happen under the new land expropriation policy, all of which are verifiably untrue. However, they have now poked the bear being Donald Trump, who has now posted on his Truth social media that he is going to take away all funding from South Africa, all trade deals, all funding, all aid, to punish us for this land expropriation bill, which has nothing to do with land grabs, just to be clear. Now AfriForum is freaking out because if Trump does that, if he takes away things like AGOA and other things that make our trading with America easier, do you know who suffers? White businesses. They're the ones who suffer, not the kind of ANC politicians that AfriForum was trying to get a dig at. So now AfriForum is coming out and saying they are going to lobby Donald Trump again, this time to say, no, please don't punish the people of South Africa, just the individual politicians. Can you just sanction them? It is so clearly a political play. And of course Trump fell for it. And of course it's backfired for AfriForum. And it's all farcical if it wasn't for the fact that it has real impacts and effects on us ordinary South Africans.
So let's put it all together. First, Trump framed this as a rescue mission, but the people he wanted to save didn't even take the offer. I'm left wondering if they were truly in extreme danger, because if they were, they would have left the first chance they got. Well, what I can say is this really looks like an attempt to push a certain narrative, because the fact is South Africa has its challenges, yes, just like any other country. But the claims of widespread targeted persecution don't hold up when you actually listen to the people living there. And the most telling part is even the white South Africans themselves are saying they're fine where they are. Well, that's just my take on the whole situation. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories right here from me. Bye.